it's out of my hands. If he's gonna cheat, he's gonna cheat.
Right.
If he wants to act out, like, and go left, like, he's gonna do that.
Yeah.
So it's not on me, and whatever happens, and let it happen, because I'm gonna be okay either way. Welcome back, my little survivors, to another episode of 30, Flirty, and Surviving. I am Tracy. We have had a little bit of a break for the holidays, things slowing down, but things are back in action. Please go ahead and follow socials at 30, Flirty, Surviving, Instagram and TikTok. And if you haven't watched all the episodes or listened to all the episodes in the past, you can do so YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, and Apple Podcasts. I am here with a familiar face.
Yep.
Speaking of previous episodes, if you watched our Manel episode back in the day where we had on a couple brave fellas to answer some of our questions.
Good word to use there, brave would be the one.
One of our fan favorites was the one, the only Mr. Marckie P. Thank you.
I'm clapping it up for myself. I'm clapping it up for myself.
Clap. Thank
Hurley,
you so much for joining us, Hurley.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. I mean,
you were on my show.
I was on your show. That was a ton of fun.
I mean, we had some stuff happen through that show.
Yeah.
Fire alarm goes off.
Yes.
Just pandemonium. Yeah. It was just mayhem.
It was wild. It was wild. And then you had some really great answers on the first go around. So I thought, why not have you come back? I thought we'd go a little bit deeper this time.
I'm not prepared.
And since you're my little sensitive Scorpio that you are.
Yep, that's true.
No one's better than you for this. Before I start throwing questions at you, for Marckie socials, you can find him at It's Marckie P or the Marckie P Show.
Yep.
He's been on a little bit of a hiatus, working man, busy, but the show will be making a comeback. It is one of my personal faves, so
thank you.
Stay tuned for when that will happen.
You've broken me out of my hiatus.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. This room feels comfy. A familiar voice, a familiar face feels great, so I'm happy to be back.
You're so sweet. And not to mention, if you guys are listening, you cannot see this, but if you're watching on YouTube, he is wearing a Britney Spears shirt just for me.
There
he
it
is the best. I'm obsessed. Free Britney. She is freed.
She's free.
She's still a little loco.
Yeah, she's posting nudes on her Instagram, and honestly, I love it. Good for her.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Let it rip, dude. You're Britney Spears. You're free. Free it all. Free the nipple, free the butt, free the whatever you have to free.
Okay. True.
Free it all.
Amen. Wait, also, because I'm wearing, my shirt says Drake wouldn't treat me like this. It made me think, before I started asking you these personal questions, did you guys hear about what's going on with Drake right now?
Yeah, I did.
This is the most absurd thing I've heard in my entire life.
I was just in my Uber and I saw it.
Okay.
I watched a little clip.
So if you guys have not heard, Drake is in the process of being sued at the moment. So he apparently hooked up with this girl last weekend, and after they were done handling their business,
I'm gonna laugh, so I'm trying not to laugh so hard
because you know it's coming.
I know it's coming.
He goes to the bathroom and disposes of the condom. And shortly following, the girl goes into the bathroom. And I feel like at first, like, who thinks twice of that? That's fine. All of a sudden, she starts screaming from inside the bathroom.
Yeah.
So he goes in to check on her. Turns out this absolute psychopath took the condom out of the trash and tried to revive the sperm from inside of it to impregnate herself.
Yeah.
But my boy Drake don't miss, and he is one step ahead of her.
Wow.
He filled the condom with hot sauce before disposing it.
Here's my question, which is incredible that he did that. What kind of hot sauce was it, do you think? You think he's like a Tabasco guy? You think he's a Cholula guy?
Definitely Cholula.
Maybe a Frank's Red Hot guy.
It has to be Cholula.
I mean, hot sauce in the condom is a move.
I also want to know, like, where was it stored? Like, is hot sauce in his medicine cabinet?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Like, it's just ready to go?
He's probably got like a secret cabinet inside of like his sink area that he just presses a button like
does.
Batman, and hot sauce comes out and he's just like, well, time to ruin this condom. And then that's where
Honestly,
it goes.
like that's like the lengths that these celebrities have to go to. Yeah. It's insane to me. I hate women like her that like try to take advantage of it. I feel like they give girls a bad rap.
Right.
But now, so now she's suing Drake.
This could be the world's stupidest lawsuit.
The stupidest lawsuit. I'm like, he should be the one suing you. He should be slapping like a restraining order, something, and you're gonna try to press charges on him.
Right. I think right now he's just sitting on his couch laughing hysterically at the fact that this girl just made an ass of herself. And also he probably just went, well, the hot sauce trick worked.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time. He's like, I've done this 1,000 times. This is the first time it's worked. Like, here we go. We're at a one.
I wonder how many times he's had to do that.
I mean,
just in like preparation for this day when someone would actually be.
You know, I was thinking about this, and I've thought about it before because of what I do for the line of work. And how many times where do you get to a point in your career where you're like, I can't just have sex with normal people anymore?
What,
right?
Like he can't have sex with like a
normal
Joe Schmo off the street.
Because, or it goes both ways for a male or female celebrity, right? When do you say, okay, I cannot hook up with a random anymore because of something like this, where you could hook up with any random single celebrity and you're kind of both on the same page.
Right.
Right.
Well, I feel like there's
Gwyneth
pros and
Paltrow's
cons.
not trying to trick Drake into a baby.
Well, she's also happily married.
Whatever, you know what I mean.
But I feel like there's pros and cons is like, if you get somebody off the street, you have a higher chance of there being some discretion in the sense of like
signing an NDA.
Like, they would maybe like signing an NDA, or like you can maybe hide them more easily or sneak them in. Or like someone that is also a celebrity, like chances are maybe like they're high profile, someone's also following them. If there's like any rumors about the two of you guys, people are gonna go nuts. Yeah,
but I think that like just enhances your celebrity, right? Like if you're attached or a celebrity attached to, as long as the other person isn't an absolute trash bag.
Yeah.
Like, cool, attach me to him. I don't care.
I know.
I would rather not be attached to fucking hot sauce condom girl.
I know. When my girl Selena Gomez was rumored to be dating my future husband Chris Evans,
not me.
Neither of them.
Sad.
Neither of them denied it. But I'm like, because they're both decent humans. So like, let that shit ride. No one's gonna deny that. They're both good people.
Does nothing for your PR.
Who cares? Yeah.
It doesn't make it better or worse. We're like, oh, these two are dating. It's like, cool, let them date. But if Drake's banging randos, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
We're in trouble. Drake, get it together, dude.
Yeah. But you know what?
Just kidding. I love Drake. But this move was sick.
Yeah.
Savage.
Oh, I mean, it was absolute savage. Truly on both ends. But I just hope that she doesn't luck out and get some money out of him, because that will be the day the
money's coming.
Race is over. You think so?
Yeah,
just to shut up?
Yeah. The money's just like, I don't even want to be involved in this anymore. Here's $100,000. See you later.
Wow.
It's just like, that's what Hollywood does.
So
they just
pathetic.
fix everything.
Okay.
And then it like leaves a news cycle in like 10 minutes. Actually, this one might stick around for a few. This one's kind of too funny.
Oh, this will never leave my memory.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to start leaving hot sauce in my bathroom.
Stop. You should just from now on leave it in your medicine cabinet. I'm just going
to leave like a post-it note with a hot sauce bottle that says for Drake. Like in the event that Drake ever comes to my apartment and wants to hang out and he's just like smashing randos.
You just got it ready to go for him.
The hot sauce bottle's there for you, my friend. Like if you ever need it.
What are those called? Like writers? When like guys like you, like that should be on Drake's writer. It's just like hot sauce.
It's got to be. And, like everybody probably thought it was for like chicken fingers or like some sort of sauce for like a meal. Nope.
No.
The Tabasco is for something completely different.
That is insane. Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, I just had to address that. But let's get into some of the meat and potatoes, if you will.
Are you going to talk about how you dragged me through your Instagram for the last week?
That's exactly where I was going to start.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. So me and Marckie are pretty good friends. I like to harass him from time to time. He also is he's very insightful, and I feel like he's always good when I have questions, hence why he's been on the show to give male perspective on things in the past. But we ended up like going on this tangent about what is more important, looks versus personality.
I think I was portrayed wrongly on your Instagram, but that's okay.
What? Why?
That's okay. That's all right. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay, so anyway, so my whole thing was that he was trying to say that like girls have a physical type, and I said that girls have one type and one type only, and it's personality.
Okay, that's fair. I thought that wasn't how you were going to explain it, but that's accurate.
So you had no faith in me to just say the truth.
No, I didn't have any faith.
That was the problem.
That's the burn right there.
Okay, so then he disagreed, and so I said, well, let's take this to the streets. Let's ask the people.
And you did.
And so sure enough, I did. And as I suspected, number one, men cannot listen because multiple men, I literally specifically said, do not respond or like participate in this if you are a man. And multiple men responded and also picked looks, like not to mention. But also, of course, the girls that did respond. What was it? I was saying two things. I forget.
No, you were saying that they were accurate in what they were talking about with how they.
Oh
picked.
yeah, I was accurate, and then because most of the girls picked personality,
Yep.
there was a few exceptions. I'm woman enough to admit that I wasn't 100% accurate. However, there was some interesting storylines going on there. So like.
Yep.
For example, you tried to dispute this, but you saw it on paper. You saw the text. There was a couple people that said like looks are important because if someone reminds her too much of her ex, she gets triggered. And so like that physical type is no longer an option for her. And that's where looks come into play. So she's not necessarily prioritizing him being attractive,
right? But
she's saying like he can't look a certain way and looks are important.
For sure.
Some girls were like, looks are important because I have to be attracted to you first, and but then personality is the deal breaker, which I understand. I mean, listen, we're humans. Like, I don't think that you're gonna totally
fall in love with someone's personality before you fall in love with
right. I think that it's always gonna catch your eye, right?
Yeah, naturally.
But like, I think that personality is the true deal breaker.
Yeah.
Where I feel like for men, not so much.
I like to give you a hard time.
Okay.
Because it's fun for me. Because we genuinely like to harass each other in a very loving way. But I do think you were accurate in a lot of what you said in the conversation we had, back and forth.
Okay.
But to
elaborate.
To go with what the thing that one of your followers said was she won't date a guy that looks like her ex. Mm-hmm. In my life, my longest ex-girlfriend dates a guy that looks exactly like me.
Interesting.
He's 6 inches shorter and he's a wonderful guy. Mm-hmm. He's super sweet, but looks exactly like me.
Did you just say he was 6 inches shorter?
Yeah.
You just had to throw that in.
Yeah. 6 inches shorter. Oh
my God. Okay.
It's fine. He's handsome. He's a good looking guy. He's funny.
Well, my rebuttal to that would be that you are a really good person and you, I don't think have like totally messed with her so much that like she I think like she has fond memories of you. So someone that looks like you is probably like okay in her book. But if someone like completely destroyed your broke your heart or like manipulated you, then I feel like she'd want to stay away. It would give her like cringiness,
It's very fair.
Okay. So now that we have sort of established that men go for looks and girls go for personality, and we know why. Oh, did someone's phone vibrate? Remember when we said we weren't
That wasn't my phone.
Yeah, it was.
Damn it.
Anyway, he gave me shit before
saved me.
before the show about not putting my phone on airplane mode because he apparently does that every single episode, and his phone was the one that
But it just went
vibrated.
off on airplane mode.
Okay.
That's weird.
Okay. Anyway. Okay, so now that we know why people date, what I want to know is why people cheat.
Wow.
So my question for you is, why do you think that men cheat?
That's a great question.
I'll be here for the next 45 minutes.
But you want me to talk about cheating for the next 45 minutes? Holy shit, that's a long time. So I think the reason why men cheat is because they become dissatisfied in their relationship, mentally, physically. I think that goes for everyone. I think when it comes to a male, some of us have, higher sex drives or higher needs that need to be fulfilled. And what happens in relationships is sometimes both sides become complacent, right? You see each other every day. You talk every day. The sexual nature of what happened. Are you like sending nudes 9, 10, 12, 2 years in?
Okay.
Right? Are you keeping it spiced up?
Yeah, spicing things up.
Are you like making it seem
keeping it interesting?
Right. Are you like making the whole entire relationship feel Like,
So
like
as
the
you
day
say
one.
this, but the sense that I'm getting is that it's our fault if he cheats.
No, not at all. But that's why I said it goes both ways, right? Like,
Okay.
like you should, as a guy.
So if I'm not sending news, then he's gonna cheat on me.
No. But it's like you want to spice it. You want to keep like the relationship spicy. You're coming at me hard.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard
You want to keep the relationship like spicy.
Okay.
But also, like guys are gonna naturally cheat. Whether they want to or regardless of the situation. So there's multiple facets and multiple outlets as to why people cheat. Men in general, I mean, I think women cheat just as much as men.
You do?
I've watched it happen. Thousands. I work in the nightclub.
the tea.
I work in the nightclub industry.
Oh.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
I think I've seen more girls cheat on their boyfriends than I've seen guys cheat on their girlfriends.
No, sir.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a second.
Absolutely.
Are you? What do you like? What qualifies cheating to you?
I know.
What consists of cheating? Like, if you're saying
like,
like a guy offered a girl a drink and she
That's not
accepted,
cheating.
okay.
That's
But like,
not
what are you
cheating.
seeing in the club then?
People going back with artists. People going back with like
thirsty. See those thirsty girls that are hooking up with Drake.
See, that's what I'm saying. So it's like it also goes to like with, is your relationship sound?
Yeah.
Right? I can go to a nightclub and not talk to any girls. Like I've had girlfriends. I've cheated on one girl my whole life. Right. Oh. And it was super early on in like me being in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck is this about? And I became attracted to another girl.
Okay.
I wasn't really getting what I needed at home. I was like 22.
What did you need?
Like,
what was lacking?
Like you go 6-7 months without having sex. You're like,
yeah, no.
you're like, what do I do? Right. So what?
I would just say you should have broken up with her.
Yeah, but like you still care, right? You're still like, I still
Yeah.
care for you, but like I have to fulfill this need somewhere else because you're not giving it to me. So what do I do?
Had you had conversations with her about that?
And it's just like,
Yeah.
this happened. Sorry. And then months later you break up, which sucks. But after that, I've never cheated on a girl.
Okay.
So it's like, it's also temptation. There's so much that goes into cheating. There's more layers to it. It's like an onion. You know, it's not just like, oh, he's a cheater. It's like, okay, or she's a cheater. It's like, why? Like maybe you're a piece of shit boyfriend. Maybe you're a piece of shit girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like there's so many ways to go about it.
I feel like I don't have scientific data on this or anything, but my opinion, like I see all your points and I feel like you're right. And I think that you're giving a really like kind version of the truth. I feel like a lot of guys though, for the most part, like I think that guys who are insecure are more apt to cheat as well. I feel like men, like I feel like their confidence can be instilled with validation from multiple women.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a factor because it's not just about, I think the go-to answer is that guys just like need that physical connection or like they see someone that's good looking and they immediately think of sex, which like,
yeah, but like what happens if you mentally lose your connection with your girlfriend or your boyfriend? Like, what do you do then?
Yeah.
How do you fix that? And like, if you try to attempt to fix it and the other side isn't budging, but you still care for them and something happens one night when you go out, how do you feel? Do you feel like now you just need to go back to them and tell them and break up? Or do you just try to sweep it under the rug and
when you cheated on her, did you tell her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you were honest about it.
Not immediately honest about it, but like I was honest about it.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like girls more so often will cheat because they feel underappreciated. I feel like if girls don't think that their man is like giving them like not like the physical stuff as much, but like the attention or like, does he make me feel special? Like girls are like usually so much more like emotionally, I feel like invested. And so for them, I feel like they're going to stay in it, even if it's not what they want. But then every once in a while they'll be like, well, what are my options?
But that's super toxic, right?
So toxic. So toxic.
So what's worse?
Yeah. No, they both suck. Both options suck.
You're essentially cheating on your relationship by being emotionally unavailable and toxic, or you're cheating physically.
Yeah. True.
You know?
True.
So it's like they're both equally as bad because one, you're doing physically with somebody else and you're going to get caught. The truth always comes out. You're going to get caught.
100%.
But like you're not necessarily going to mentally get caught when you're destroying yourself internally inside of your relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just going to breakdown internally. Like you're gonna lose it eventually.
And then you're just gonna lose it, and then that's it. And like, where's the end goal?
Yeah.
You know?
Have you ever been cheated on?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
Not to your knowledge.
Not to my knowledge.
I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to start.
Maybe not. I'm about to call him up. My phone was ringing a second ago. Hey, you guys been cheating on me? No.
I have a hot take on this. I have been cheated on, and I feel like it was the biggest blessing in disguise for me. Like
What the fuck?
So I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna explain.
You're gonna have to explain.
And not like for the obvious reasons of like, he's a douche, like you dodged a bullet type of thing. Like that goes without saying. But I feel like being cheated on changed my perspective on so much, and actually changed like my maturity level in a lot of ways. So I am going to take it back for a second and like explain this. And then the first thing that I wanted to talk about before I get into it is attachment styles. Have you heard of these?
No.
I feel like they're the new love language.
No, the last time I spoke to you in a setting like this, you were schooling me on astrology. So every time I sit with you, you
learn
something.
New. Yeah. Take a seat.
I'm ready.
I'll teach you whatever you need to know.
I'm
okay.
Learning.
So I feel like back in the day, people got so like caught up in love languages. Like, are you more of a physical touch person, words of affirmation, etc.? I feel like I've been hearing more and more about attachment styles, and apparently attachment styles are like somehow derive from your childhood in ways that we really don't know or maybe understand. But they have a lot more to do with maybe like how you react or like how you respond in a relationship versus like what you need in a relationship. You know what I mean? So there's 4 different kinds, okay?
Okay.
There's secure, anxious, dismissive, and fearful. Secure attachment style is like you have a healthy view of yourself, you have good self-esteem, you're a good communicator. This is like, that's like the mecca. Like we all want to be her. We all want to be the secure girl, person, man, but you know, easier said than done.
Right.
Then there's the anxious attachment style, which is more of like fear of abandonment. And so you're always living in that anxiety. These people tend to be super codependent. They are those folks like when I get into a relationship, then like all I want to do is hang out with my boyfriend. Like you get so preoccupied with your boyfriend. You're like, you're so scared of losing them that you need to like obsess over them and everything's about that person.
Yep.
Then there's dismissive, which is someone who actually is insecure, but they don't show it. So they do that in forms of like building walls or almost being too independent where they're not seemingly prioritizing the relationship enough.
So me.
I was gonna wait and ask you which one you identified with, but I'm pretty sure it's dismissive.
Yeah, that was me.
And you're just kind of like survival mode. So like it's like it's all about you, and it's not really a reflection of your feelings, but it's just sort of how you have to like get through the day. That's how you are. Yeah. And then there's fearful, which is someone who has a like push-pull dynamic. So when things start to get good or somebody gets close to them, they push them away because they get scared.
Can I be 2?
Can I
be 2 of 4?
Potential like intimacy issues.
I don't have those.
Downplay. Oh God. Okay. All right. Save it, pal. They downplay their relationship, so maybe like that fear of things not working out, rather than like screaming from the rooftops like this is the like I'm so excited or I love this person so much, they pretend like they don't care because then they don't have to explain anything later, and they're not really great communicators and can be easily triggered or lash out. So maybe not really good at being like this is what I need from you. They have a hard time being vulnerable, and so then sometimes if something happens that makes them like angry or upset or jealous, they may react in a way that doesn't sound like it's in parallel with what's happening, but it's because like there's something going on underneath that they haven't really said.
Yeah, those both sound like me.
So you're like a dismissive, fearful. You're somewhere in between the two.
Yeah, I mean, I have confidence in myself, but other than that, I'm like a well-documented commitment phobe. Like that's a conversation that we've had before.
Yeah.
I'm just a that's just part of me.
But
so like I fit in those lower two categories.
Okay. But
And
your
I feel like that's not bad.
I feel like they're. I feel like they're kind of polar opposite though.
I was gonna say they're kind of different in a way of like the push pull is kind of where everybody lives, right?
Not necessarily.
Not you. Where do you live in that?
Oh no,
graph?
I'm fearful. I'm fearful 1,000%. That's me. Well, I was. Well, that's what I was going to talk about. Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. So what I was going to say was I identify as fearful. I feel like in the past, I was always like the quit while I'm ahead mentality. Like if something seemed too good to be true, it probably was. As soon as things were getting good, I'm running for the hills. Like it's only going to go downhill from here type of thing.
I agree with this.
And or if I didn't do that, and if I actually was in a relationship, I feel like sometimes I would overcompensate, like fear of not being enough or fear of not doing enough. So I'm like, if I just do X, Y, and Z, they're not going to want to leave. Like that's how I'll kind of keep them. And I feel like this has been something that as long as I can remember, kind of how I was, and not even just in relationships, but like when it came to like my friendships, when it came to a job, like, oh, I can't interview for that. Like they'll never want me. Like I always was thinking like, the negative, like worst case scenario type of thing. And so for that reason, I feel like when it came to my relationships, fidelity was a huge thing for me. And I was like, I will fall off a roof if I ever get cheated on. Like, I just don't think I'll ever be able to love again. Like, how will I be
I'll never
naked?
be able to recover from this.
I just
You
was
were
like,
Joe Exotic original.
Yes. We'll never financially recover from this. Remember that? Where the hell is Joe Exotic?
He's in jail for the next 22 years.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was out by now. God. But yeah, I feel like I always just like cheating, fidelity, like I wanted to make sure I avoided it with every ounce of my being because I didn't think I'd be okay afterwards. And I think because of that, I sort of had some maybe like unhealthy habits. Like I definitely was that person, especially when I was younger, like, oh, where are you going? Who are you going with? Like, oh, I'm not feeling uncomfortable about that person being in certain situations because I just was scared and I just didn't know like what would happen if I lost somebody that I care about so much, or like they did something so deep to hurt me.
Is that being scared though, or is that just being a human being? Like, I guess maybe because how I was raised, like my parents would always ask me, hey, where are you going? Who are you going with? Right? Kind of thing.
Yeah, but no, I'll be honest. My intentions were not that.
I wanted to know, translated it into my relationship. Like, oh, you're going out? Hey, what are you doing? Like, where are you going tonight? You know what I mean? And just kind of use that as as a boyfriend or girlfriend, you naturally want to know where your significant other is going, right?
Yeah,
and
no,
also,
for sure.
And from a guy like me, it's like, I just want my girlfriend to go out and be safe and know that like, I don't care who she's going out with. I don't care where you're going, right? I just would rather you just be open and honest and be like, this is where I'm going. Yeah. If you need me, this is where I'll be. Yeah. Kind of thing, as opposed to being like,
I definitely think there was like moments of that. Like, of
deeper.
course I care about like your well-being and I'm just curious because you're a staple in my life and I just want to know what you're up to.
Right.
But I do think like a lot of times I had those ulterior motives. Like I wanted to know what the environment was going to be, what the atmosphere was. There going to be temptation? Like I was definitely.
Are you going to Stats on a Salty Sunday?
Yes, exactly. Okay. Exactly. But so when it like ultimately happened and like my ex had been cheating on me and I found out about it, like obviously at first I was crushed, but I ultimately like put the work back in on like myself, and like you have to like peel back the layers and like figure out what makes you happy and like what you need to do to feel better about yourself. And like as I started to do that, I feel like I had that light bulb moment of like, I'm not responsible for his actions. I think like when I first finally got cheated on and I found out about it, I was like heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken. And I feel like I was in a very, very low point because my like ultimate fear had come true and had happened. And so you live in that space for a little bit of like, what did I do wrong? I'm not good enough. Like, why would he treat me this way? And like,
it's like mentally self-sabotaging.
Oh, 100%.
Which at the same time is like, it's not, at that point, it's not you, right?
Right.
It's not what you could have done, or you could be perfect. And for all accounts you are, right? And like, it's not you. So like, the self-sabotaging thing sucks because I mean, everybody does it in their everyday life regardless, right? In your work life, you do it. In your home life, you do it. In your relationship, you do it. But like sometimes you take a step back and you just have to look at it from the outside and just be like, this shit has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
And then you're able to kind of mentally progress and move on from it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's exactly it. And I think that like, that's why I think I'm grateful for the experience. You know what I mean? Like before I was always still like, I'm not good enough. Like that can't happen to me, like trying to avoid it. And now I'm like, I'm probably in the best place I've ever been. Like I'm better than I ever was. Like this is not still, it's not still hovering over me. Like I'm going to be okay. And so
you can control the narrative.
Yes, 100%. And like, I think that when somebody does something like that, more often than not, it's a reflection of them and not me. And it took me a while to realize that. But now that I have, it's like such a release and so freeing. And I feel like it's changed my perspective and like my maybe attachment style, like when it comes to dating in the future. Like now I'm just kind of like, it's out of my hands. If he's gonna cheat, he's gonna cheat. If he wants to act out like and go left, like he's gonna do that. Yeah. So it's not on me, and whatever happens, and let it happen because I'm gonna be okay either way.
Also, you gotta hope that you see those signs early on, right? You have to hope that the person you're dating is not a complete sociopath and holds those in until the last possible second. I'm a pretty open book when it comes to like my dating life and like I don't date often. Yeah. Or at all. Right. But when I do,
asterisk, it's like or at all.
Yeah, asterisk or at all. But it's one of those things where when I do have a girlfriend, you get everything right off the bat. Like you see what I do for a living.
You know what you're getting yourself into.
You know what you're getting yourself into. Like I'm a complete open book when it comes to my life and in that part. So there's no like, oh my God, surprise. It's like, no, you knew about this 13 minutes in.
There's potential for that person to be uncomfortable with those scenarios. Obviously, she knows that they're coming, right? Sure. But it's still like when it happens, when it's here, she still may be like, but I don't know how I feel about
that. It's like the honeymoon phase kind of thing is weird, right? Because you're trying to make this person enjoy being with you. And it's like, I don't care. Like I'm just going to be
you're dismissive.
I'm just going to be me. And like, if you don't enjoy being with me, we don't need to be in this honeymoon phase. Like, I'll just continue on. You know what I mean?
That's not a good mentality though either.
No, it is though, because then what like the thought process going into it would be like, well, if she's not ready to just enjoy whatever I have to give right off the bat, why do I have to fake it? Why do I have to fake it for 2 months just for the sake of saying we're in the honeymoon phase?
Not fake it, but like I do think that as you're
like
building
I throw my laundry on the floor when I get home. Like I take my pants off and I just chuck them. Like, is that like a red flag?
No, like no one cares about that. No one. That's stuff that you can worry about later. I mean, like the communication or like the. Like if you're building the foundation for something, I do think that there should be a grace period, regardless of whether or not she knew what she was getting herself into, but just to like build that like little bit of confidence and like reassurance. Right. And then if that continues, then that's on her. That's not on you. Yeah. But like she's still getting to know you. She's still learning. And I think that there should be, well.
Go ahead.
Do you want to live like that forever?
Kinda, dude. Me and Hurley are just going to be together forever.
No, Hurley
was yours. I know, I get it. But yeah, no, you're not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong, and I am dismissive for sure. But when you like, how do you feel about the honeymoon phase? This is what I want to know because this is stuck in my head.
What do you mean?
How do you feel about like when you first meet somebody and things are starting to progress? Like, are you astrology Tracy? Yeah.
What about it?
Are you?
What do you mean?
Are you like locking in, being like, yo, I need to know your sign. I need to know all this right now.
Oh, second date. I want to know when you were born, where you were born, everything.
So your thought process aligns with mine. Like you want to know, you want them to give you everything. And I'm giving everything. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I see. Okay, I understand. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You're a psychopath just like I am.
I'm like someone that, and I think I've talked about this before, like I am not against relationships by any means, but I'm also very okay being single. I enjoy my independence. So if I'm going to be in a relationship, I want it to be something that I could see. I'm not saying forever, but like for long term. Like I'm not like, I don't want to just like hang out with somebody for a couple months and then let it fall the wayside. Right. So yeah, I do ask questions up front, like, and I do want to know where, like what their goals are or their perspective on things.
That's huge.
Oh,
That's fucking huge.
yeah. I feel like that's what you have to do.
Yeah, but
when you're 30, flirty, and surviving, you know?
Yeah, well, you need to teach more girls that.
Why, you don't think that girls touch upon those questions?
No. I think it's just like we're having so much fun just doing whatever we're doing in the newness of what this is that you just don't talk about shit.
I would beg to differ. I feel like, you know what? I bet a lot of girls are having those conversations about you behind your back.
That's
and
what I'm
just
saying,
not
but,
having
like,
those conversations to you. Yeah. I mean, like, they're definitely thinking about that stuff.
Right.
They're just maybe afraid to approach you with it.
Yeah.
For me, my thing
Why?
is like, if I ask you a question that's like about like, if you want kids one day or like whatever, and that scares you, then you weren't the dude for me, and like save me the, you know what I mean? Like, just because I ask you if you want children one day does not mean I want you to impregnate me tomorrow. I'm not Drake's hookup buddy,
Yeah,
okay?
Drake.
I just want to know, like, if I end up catching feelings for you and this ends up going somewhere, are we going to have to like break each other's hearts and go the opposite way because we don't want the same things in life?
Right.
Or could this go somewhere?
Right.
That's all I want to know.
That should be figured out in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 100% with you on
Yeah.
that. I think you're a badass for just
Thanks.
being that type of person where there's so many other people that are not.
I'm
You know?
so surprised. I just can't imagine being any other way.
I've been in a bunch of like relationships that have lasted, situationships, whatever we want to call them.
Wait, it's situation, but you said situation on purpose. Okay, I wanted to just make sure I called that out.
So it's like where you just have no idea what you're doing for 2 months, and you're like going to the club and you're going out to eat and you're having fun and you're just going to restaurants and whatever, and then 3 or 4 months later you're like, wow.
Well,
whoa,
do you think
this
it's
is weird.
because
Like,
the girl puts that like responsibility on you as the man to have those? Like, do you think she's trying to be the cool girl and like doesn't want to put pressure on you, so she's looking to you for those
but
answers?
I think like an all-encompassing thing. This doesn't have to necessarily be about me, but like I think if more people were just upfront with what they wanted, and who they were as a person and what their future outlook. I'm 34 years old.
Yeah.
You're not getting like a fake Marckie P.
Right.
You're getting a fully grown adult with bills.
Yeah.
That doesn't go to Southie on Sunday. You know what I mean?
Amen.
So it's like
We love that about you.
I do go like once a year, but like, but I think more people just need to be open and honest about their relationship right off the bat. Right? It doesn't necessarily have to be about kids and marriage right away.
Yeah.
But like in the interim, beginning dating, you should have those real
So
life
what type of
conversations.
conversations do you think they should be having?
Like what where does your future go? Like what is you
Okay.
are you planning for your future? I live in a condo. Do I want to buy a house?
Yeah.
Like kids, sure, maybe, but that conversation can happen inside of that time period, but it doesn't have to happen right away.
Yeah, I agree. Like location and property is huge for me too.
Like
Yeah.
what does your future look like? What do you have a 5-year plan? That's completely okay things to ask.
Okay.
But you're also allowed to go out and have fun. You're allowed to have those meaningful
Right.
conversations at dinner, not just like, oh, hey, like, can't wait to go home with fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
this
But I
chicken
also
parm is
think that
good.
there's
Let's
a
go fuck.
balance. Like, I feel like it can't be such heavy questioning and
Yeah, but
conversations all the time.
I just feel as if people just aren't as open and honest at the beginning of their dating as they should be.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. And I think they're afraid of being like labeled as like crazy
Yeah.
or
I don't
like
label girls as crazy.
pushing somebody away. I can find on record when you've called me crazy.
Yeah, but that's you. That's you. That's
different.
you. It's different.
Okay.
So you are crazy.
Okay. So my other question to you is, when it comes to relationships, what do you think is the appropriate time between one relationship to the next?
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
What did you? Oh, to have sex, to
I was gonna be
bang
like
it
the
out.
first 5 minutes.
That's horrible.
No, that's being open and honest with the people here. Just kidding. I'm just looping out and back in. Say your question
trying to bring
again.
it full circle.
Yeah, trying to bring it
I
full
was trying to
circle.
move on from that.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so my question to you was, what do you think is the appropriate time frame from one relationship to the next?
Wow. That is a great question. I would probably say a year or two.
Okay.
Like a real, like, I'm going to try to settle down with this person relationship.
Yeah.
If you're going from one like real relationship to another,
Yeah.
a year. a little over. There has to be a grieving process in like your relationship, right?
Yeah.
If you're living with somebody, you're moving, right? Like you're moving your stuff away from them. If you're in the process of like maybe trying to start a family, or that's where the thought goes and then you break up, like how do you grieve those things if you just go to a different relationship?
I thought you were, because when you're like, you're moving, I was like, you're having kids by yourself. I'm like, hold your horses. Yeah, that's not the plan.
You're just popping kids out by yourself. No, like how do you like fully comprehend the things that you are losing and missing and things that have been a part of your life for so long if you don't give it some time?
I agree.
Right? Go on dates, sure, if that makes you happy. But if you're trying to commit to somebody like inside of a year after you date, it's like, it's kind of disingenuous.
I don't really feel like dating in that period is like fair to the other person.
It's
like depending
fair.
on what their intentions
Agreed.
are. I mean, if you guys are on the same page, like they're in a similar situation, then like go for it. But I am so glad you said that, because I hate when you get out of a relationship and all your friends, like their piece of advice is like, stay busy, stay distracted. And like, they want you to just like go, or like get right back on the horse. And I feel like it's so important to pause during those times and like reel it back and focus on yourself. And if what you need right then and there is like to stay at home and do nothing and not talk to anybody, like hibernate a little bit, go on a vacation, whatever you need to do, like you should be doing that. And I also feel like if you just pretend that your emotions aren't there, they're gonna come back to haunt you later.
Agreed.
So you can't
I'm an emotional
just like
guy, so I completely understand what you're saying. Like I get that.
It will really like creep back up on you. And if you don't deal with it, it's either going to bleed into problems with your next relationship,
for sure,
or it's going to like fuck with your mental health a little bit. You know what I mean? Like if you don't properly cope. So what do you think are proper coping mechanisms for
Definitely
people?
Not drinking lots of alcohol.
Yeah, I feel like avoiding alcohol is 100% really
guilty of that. Not lots of it, but like having a beer or two to be like, wow, I'm a sad boy.
I'm not a good person when I drink in like those periods. I'm just not.
Just become a monster.
Also, I need to like lock my phone in a drawer, and I need to like
goes into a safe where you don't have a code to it.
Yeah.
I think the coping mechanisms would be, I mean, for me, have always been traveling.
Yeah.
You know, getting out and doing stuff with my friends. Like, not necessarily not thinking about the situation at hand, but you know, I've gone on vacations with my friends where it's just me and a bunch of my guys, and there's no real like, there's no work talk, there's no relationship talk. But like when you have those moments when you're sitting on the beach by yourself and the rest of your friends are drunk, you're like you're grieving. You're like you're in a spot where you're like, if I need to talk to them, I can.
Yeah.
And they're here for me.
Right.
But
you're not forced to.
You're not forced to. I would rather just like sit on the beach and like just be like, well, I'm a sad boy. This sucks.
I'm a sad boy.
How do I figure this out? I can move past it, you know. And then you talk to your friends. Like, luckily for me, my friend support system is huge.
Yeah,
I've got some of the best friends I could ever ask for. My best friend Danielle, Jeff, Colin, Mike, all of these guys.
Shout out.
They've been there. They're just
A1 day one.
They're all legends. But you know, they've seen me at my worst. They've seen me be a sad boy when I'm breaking up with girls or have a girl break up with me. And it's like being able to be open with them and have a conversation with them about what went wrong or, you know, where you could have been better. But also like taking time for yourself, you know, go to the beach, literally just get in your car, drive to the beach, sit in a chair by yourself.
It's so true.
It's incredible.
That's literally what I did when I had my breakup. I would just go to the beach and just sit on a towel and just listen to the waves.
Called it. Yeah.
So
it's like people journal. I don't journal.
Yeah, I'm a journaler too.
I don't journal, but people journal. I know a lot of people that found success in journaling.
I feel like the reason why I really like journaling, I like journaling for many reasons, but especially in this scenario is I do
How many bad things have you written about me in a journal?
There's a chapter.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
But I feel like, especially with girls, like the immediate like knee-jerk reaction is like, oh, Tracy, you're okay. Stop crying. Like, he's a jerk. He's an idiot. Like, I know he's a jerk and he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, I know that what he did wasn't cool, but like, I still have these feelings, and you just like invalidating them by like brushing me off is not helping my situation.
Right.
And I know that their intentions are so good,
Right.
but girls, I feel like, just have that tendency to be like, screw him, you don't need him. And it's like, no, I just want to like vent about like everything that's in my head so I can get it out of my head and
Right.
move on. And I don't need you to hype me up just right now. I want
Agreed.
you to just listen. And it's like journaling's like my safe space, because no one's gonna like pipe in
Right.
with their
Yeah.
2 cents.
It's like it's just me and this pen.
yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
it's true. Everybody copes in a different way. Obviously, drinking is like how 99.9% of people cope.
Yeah.
Like,
it brings out an angry Tracy. We call her Stacy. She's not welcome.
Stacy.
Yeah, that's my sassy side when I'm drunk.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Yikes. That sounds. I don't have a sassy side when I'm drunk. I'm just always Marckie P. Yeah, there's lots of ways to go about how you grieve a relationship, but you do need that, like sitting in your room alone. And maybe this is psychopathic of me, but like I would rather just sit in my room by myself and just like be in my own thoughts and try to figure out how I can be better.
Yeah.
What went wrong. And I'm just a person that figures it out on my own.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a great support system when I need them, but I'm a person that I'm like, I would rather just troubleshoot this issue on my own. And if I
like
need the
sometimes
help,
when you're just like, I know this sounds like nuts, but like when you're just like talking to yourself, like sometimes I'm just like rambling
your
and I'm
inner
just
dialogue.
like, and then I'm like, huh, that was a good point, Tracy.
Yeah.
And like once you say it out loud, or like you finally put the pieces together, sometimes all you need is just to connect the dots by yourself.
You just need to do it by yourself.
Yeah. I agree.
That's how I've always lived. I mean, I'm like a very, I'm a self-starter. So I don't really need anybody to push me. I can just do it.
Okay.
But also when it comes to breakups and when it comes to, relationship issues, I'm always the first person that comes to myself, and I'm just like, all right, I'll just sit in my room for a little while and like not look at my phone and just be like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And then your inner dialogue takes over. And,
right.
Which I didn't
which
realize.
Sometimes can be.
Some people don't have inner dialogues, and that's kind of sad.
I've heard this. I can't like, because when I hear the like options, I'm like, wait, maybe I'm that, maybe I'm this. I don't really know which one I am. It
Angel,
confuses
devil,
me.
you're in trouble.
No. Okay, I have a couple more questions that I want to get through. I have a very important question.
Oh boy.
Do guys read into what girls wear on a first date or any date?
No, I mean, I can't. I guess I can't say no. I can only speak for myself because I don't really care. I do love fashion, and I do like when the girl I'm dating just flexes really super hard whenever, and then it's just like, oh, we're gonna go have hot wings today, and you're just wearing like a literally 9XL sweatshirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's my vibe.
Yeah.
First date? No, I don't think. What?
I guess my thing is, okay, a couple of different things. I feel like either it's like difficult for a girl because it's like you want to look cute, but you don't want to look like you're sending the wrong message type of thing. Like, does this shirt have too much cleavage? Is that like, are my over the knee boots like giving this signal that I'm looking for something after the date? Like, or like clothes that are trendy, I feel like aren't always the most appealing for guys. And so I think it's
like bell
hard
bottoms,
for
dude.
girls.
You show up in bell bottoms, I'm kicking you right out.
Do you hate mom jeans? Like, I feel like guys all hate like the high-waisted mom jeans.
I hate them to an extent. I don't think they're like attractive looking. It's like it's weird because
wait, you don't think that they're attractive looking?
Not really. But I understand that they're comfortable.
Yeah.
That like I get it. Like I don't think they look good, but I understand why they wear them.
You like think that like a low rise jean like right on the hip bone is better.
No, but like I don't think that your jeans should like hit the bottom of your titties.
No.
That's where they go. They're like so high. They're like literally.
Okay, that's an exaggeration.
No, that's not. No, if a girl has a small torso, those things are going up super high.
Okay.
She might as well just like tuck her arms into.
Okay, so then what is she supposed to wear?
Whatever she wants.
Yeah, that's damn right.
Like I don't genuinely care. I have a preference of fashion, and what I look at a girl and it's like, whoa, that's dope.
Yeah.
You know, like girls in J's.
Oh.
I think girls that wear Jordans are awesome.
Yeah.
Like go eat chicken wings with me and wear some Jordans.
Oh,
fire,
ladies.
You know, it's like it's all situational too, though, right? It's like, where's your first date?
Yeah, totally. It depends on the place and everything
if you're going
as well.
If you're going to Empire,
if I was going to Empire,
What are you wearing?
I wear the same things all the time. I literally wear mom jeans.
Ugg boots, a pair of fucking
I'm
leggings.
wearing Ugg boots and leggings today because it's -6 degrees outside and I cannot feel my toes. So screw you for that. Thank you so much. But if I was going on a date or like even like when I'm going on, I feel like I always just wear like jeans and either a bodysuit or a crop top or boots.
Perfect.
That's just what I wear all the time.
It's great style.
Thank you.
But I understand why girls wear mom jeans. They're comfy.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Like,
listen.
This is what it is. Why do I wear?
When you don't have to like fix your fupa every time you sit down.
No, I respect it. You know? Like, but
it's
some mom jeans are just not attractive looking.
Yeah, I mean you have to play around with it. You have to get the right jeans.
But some
sure.
girls don't understand that, right? Some girls are just like, oh, these are jeans. You're like,
yeah,
those jeans are jeans, but they're not for you. Like,
right.
I wear skinny jeans. I know skinny jeans are not for me.
Stop.
Like, I wear them. Like I have to.
Well,
like,
wear what you like to wear.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I guess I just my point more so is like, do you think that like if a girl just like tries to look like presentable, like do you think guys like I feel like the thing in my head is like, is he gonna be like, oh, like she tries so hard, like she likes me? It's like, dude, no.
This is why girls should
I would wear
just
this when I'm out with my girlfriends too. You know what I mean?
This is why girls should just date normal dudes.
Yeah,
just
that's something.
Like when you try to date a finance bro, they expect you to just show up in like stilettos.
I've never dated a finance bro in my life.
I don't believe you for 1 second. But yeah, first date, I don't care. I don't think it matters that much. And I think what you're referring to is that there was like that one TikTok video where the girl's like mad because her first date sent her home for how she looked. Did you not see that TikTok?
I wasn't referring to that, but I did see that.
Okay. I figured you were referring to that. I was appalled. I was like, this guy's an asshole.
He sent her home from his holiday Christmas party.
I was like, you're an asshole.
I would be devastated.
Here's the thing. This is where I go with this, right? I just want my girlfriend to look better dressed than me.
Ooh, that's not hard to do. But okie dokie. I'm just kidding. Wow. Okay, I have another question about dates too. Hold on. I'm trying to get through this episode because my future ex-husband needs to leave soon.
Screw him.
If a guy doesn't show initiative, well, speaking of dates, when it comes to like picking the place or like what time or day, do you think that that's like an immediate, like he's not really that into it? Or do you think maybe it's nerves?
It's definitely nerves.
Okay.
I'm so indecisive when it comes to things like that. Time, place. I would rather you just be like, hey babe, 6 p.m. Empire.
Okay.
Don't wear that flannel. And I'd be like, I'll be there. You know what I mean?
Okay. But like, because I feel like a girl, like the expectation is that.
Exactly.
The expectation is that I feel like the guy should like if he like that whole like if he wants to he will or like what all that crap, like the expectation is that he'll be the one to like set the tone and make the plan. And I feel like there does need to be an allowance made for like he doesn't want to say something that you have no interest in going to. And like he also maybe like is a little bit nervous or like doesn't want you to reject him or like I don't know what it is, but I'm like I don't think that I think it can be like a mutual thing. Like I think he needs to show some interest in like wanting to spend time with you.
Agreed.
But then you guys can come up with the plan together.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with that. I will also say that options matter. Hey, let's do this. We can do this, this, or this.
Yeah.
It's like I know people don't like options because I mean I'm a menu indecisive person. When I go to Starbucks, I get super anxiety. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's like it's the same thing that happens when you're trying to go out to dinner with somebody. It's like, I don't know. We'll go wherever. And then
that's the worst.
Let's go wherever.
The worst.
Your girl or whoever is just like, this wasn't the one. It's like, you should have picked that.
Right. If you just told me where you wanted to freaking go in the first place, we would have been avoiding this situation.
So it's like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. But I asked Hurley this question a couple weeks ago.
Hurley's handsome.
I know.
Oh, stop. Jeez, look at him. This guy, holy smokes.
Okay. But he did not understand what I was trying to get at. One of my biggest pet peeves is when guys like aren't clear about their intentions. Like, again, I will pick the place in the time in the day with you if I agree to it, but like, I want to know, am I signing up for friends hanging out and catching up, or am I signing up for like a date? Is there like is there romantic intentions there? And I feel like guys are so like casual these days about like, we should just get drinks sometime, and they don't make it obvious that they're into you in that way.
Okay, well, I guess here's where
and Hurley's like, oh yeah, I got ice cream. I'm like, I don't care what you did on the activity. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I want to know how you asked her for ice cream.
I love that.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
He's just so innocent and pure.
I guess, I mean, I don't have the answer for this because I am that casual guy.
Oh, the worst.
But also, I don't want to face rejection when I think that I'm going out for an ice cream date and there's no anything involved, right?
Right.
Or I don't want to assume that like, oh, hey, we're going to dinner. Maybe there's a chance you come home and hang out.
I just think like, it leads way too much to interpretation. And I also feel like it's kind of a cop-out. I just think like, if you do the whole like, oh, we should just hang out sometime, and the girl agrees, then it becomes on her to be like, oh, well, I wasn't into you that way. Like, and I feel like now she's the bad guy, when like, if intentions were set in advance, it would have eliminated that situation.
How do you do that though?
What do you mean?
I want you have to learn your male audience that's going to tune in here. I need you to learn and teach us how to make that a thing.
How to ask, like how to be clear about a date?
Yeah.
I feel like there's one of two things. I feel like there's one of two things. I think it's either the way you word it, I feel like if you were to ask a girl like, I would like to take you out, or can I take you out? I feel like that implies date to me. You know what I mean? Like that, like you can kind of say it without saying it.
Okay.
Or again, I'm someone that cuts right to the chase. Like, I would rather you just say like, I'd like to take you on a date sometime. Like, is that something you'd ever be interested in? Like, and I will let you know yes or no. And like, I don't like when guys like, I feel like tricked or conned into like a situation, and I'm just like, then I feel horrible if like I didn't feel the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because I'm a person like I'm like guys, girls, but like I always will hang out.
It's also fear of rejection, right? I would rather just say to you, hey, let's go grab a drink, and you'd be like, all right, cool.
And then you sense the vibe.
And then you sense the vibe, and then if it works, it works, and then you go for another drink and maybe some dinner, and then if it continues, like, where we at? We at 3-date rule nowadays. It's 2022. What is it? 3 dates, 4 dates? Like, where are we at before?
To work a lot harder than that over here, but yeah.
Oh my God, 50 first dates.
50 first
Holy
dates.
shit,
exactly.
Hurley. Jeez Louise. Somebody wipe her up.
Thanks for sticking up for me, Mark.
Yeah, Hurley, I got your back, man.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
On that note, I think it's time to wrap it up.
I loved it. This was so much fun.
You had fun? Well, you're welcome back anytime, my friend. You have some really great perspective, although I really feel like I need to get somebody different than you next time. No offense, I love you dearly.
That's a cheater.
But you like say all the right things. I need someone who gives me something to like argue about, or like something a little bit different. Like you just say things and I'm like, oh yeah, I agree. Or I was going to say that.
It's because we're kind of similar.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you're right. Until next time,
why do you think we're similar? Wait, hold on. Why do you think we're similar? Just like our...
You have black hair. I have black hair.
All right. Well, anyway.
You like Empire. I like Empire.
Thank you so much for coming on the show
you both
once
have massive
again.
Beards.
I'm gonna wrap things here before I continue to get roasted. But thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you next week.